So I got everything sanded to 180, smoothed out real nice. So now I'm going back over with guide coat and then hitting it up with 320, smooth out any scratches. So I see I've already done some of the hood, working my way over. Doors are already done up to 320. So I've got the rest of the hood and the body shell to do. So it goes a little quicker because you're only taking out light sand scratches. You're not really forming anything. Sometimes you can pick up some more imperfections here and there, but so far it's looking pretty good. So after block sanding with 320, I sprayed a couple coats of reduced epoxy so it kind of laid out smooth. And it looks a lot nicer. All the pinholes are filled in. And so here I started sanding, wet sanding with 600 grit to get it prepped for the base coat. So I'll do the whole thing and wet sand at 600. Epoxy's a little tough to sand sometimes. It likes to gum up paper. So when you wet sand it, it helps smooth it out and, you know, gets rid of any imperfections. So, and then anything that you missed or anything that you know, can show up pretty easily with the sheen. You can see if there's any sand scratches because the epoxy helps, you know, fill those in. So when you kind of go over it, if you see them, you can kind of sand it a little bit more and get them out. So I like using the epoxy for that. It's a last step, double check. It's a little more extra work, but it's a little way of catching any imperfections before you start to actually, you know, paint the color. So everything's ready for paint. Got a booth made up from plastic just to keep the dust off of it. It's all been wet sanded with 600 grit. I touched up a few spots of epoxy that burned through when I was sanding. Did that last night, so it's nice and dry now. So first thing I'll do is I gotta tack cloth it off, get all the dust off it. And then I'm gonna do white just down the middle, wrap it around the front and the back, because that's gonna be the stripe color. And then when it's nice and dry this afternoon, I'll tape it all off and do the red. So I think it's in pretty good shape. Hopefully there's no blemishes I missed, but you never know. So see how it goes. Well, I got the white laid down, because half of this is going to be red, half of it's white, and then the stripes go all the way up through the front. So that's all ready to go. And about 4 coats of white just to make sure it covered good. Got this something on the spoiler here that's going to have stripes on it too. So I'll let it dry for 4 or 5 hours, and then I'll start laying out the stripes, get it all masked off and taped up down the center. So I think it's looking pretty good. Okay, got the stripes all taped up over the white. It's pretty much ready for the red to go down. It's going to take a little bit of cleanup yet, not overspray from the white, so I gotta clean that up. But add a little pinstripe on the side, so we'll have a nice border for the main stripes. So it's come out pretty good. You can get the spoiler striped out, so we'll be cleaning that up and then be ready for paint. Got the red painted, pulled all the tape last night. Overall, I think it came out pretty good. Next step is to clear it. Had a couple issues that I got to fix this morning. There's a run, pretty good size run on the back, and some of the tape, you know, there's some bleed through on the corners, which is a little difficult to try to repair. See what I can do about that. Overall, everything came out real nice. So just got to do the clear coat now after I fix some of the blemishes. Doors came out real good. Spoiler's good, but some of the tape lines bled through. Even had a couple of spots where it bled through the main masking area. So there's a spot right there. But let's see, that's easy to repair. So we'll just keep going. Got the clear coat done. It's been sitting for a couple days. I took all the plastic down. It's all ready for sanding and buffing. Get out any imperfections. I think overall came out pretty good. I got a couple runs here and there. Nothing real bad. It's just really dusty right now. I can't really see how glossy and smooth it is, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be all sanded and buffed anyway. But I think it came out pretty good. Clear laid down pretty nice. The doors came out pretty good. I mean, a little bit of orange peel, but I don't know. I did the best I can. It's a fine line between getting the glass smooth and having runs, so, or dry spray, so you gotta pick your battles. I already started sanding with 1000 grit on a few spots just to check and see. There were some blemishes and they came out already. So this is what I'll get with 1000 grit. So it'll be nice and glassy smooth when it's all done. So overall, pretty happy with how it came out. The front hood's been sanded to 1000. I've got a lot of the blemishes out and dust nibs and got it nice and smooth. Haven't started the body shell yet. I'm going to do the doors next. The back side's already sanded to 3000. So I'm going to do these all the way to 3000 and then buff it. So it'll come out pretty glossy. It's not too bad, a little bit of orange peel, some dust in it, but that'll clear up real good once it's all sanded and buffed out. Start out with 1000 grit and work my way up. I'll go back over 1500. I'll go over it again with 2000 grit. $2,500 grit. $3,000 grit. Now that it's all sanded, I'll buff it with a coarse buffing pad and compound. I took all the tape off the edges, and I'll buff off the edge gently so I don't pull any paint off. So it'll kind of blend it all in now. Last step is a polishing pad and polishing compound. Doesn't come out too bad. Looks pretty good. Probably could use another quick session with a polishing wheel. But you see all the dust is gone and all the imperfections that were in it, in the clear, sanded out, came out pretty good. So pretty happy with it. Body's been sanded all the way up to 3000 grit. It's ready for buffing. Found a few runs. I got those sanded out. I think it came out pretty good. That should shine up real nice. A couple blemishes here and there, but nothing real severe. So I'm going to finish this up. I got a couple issues on the hood, so I'm going to maybe hold off on finishing the hood. Get this back so that the body can be put on the chassis and the windows put in and the interior and all that stuff finished up. And then the hood can go on last, so I might take that hood and fix a couple things on it, and then finish sanding and buffing it. So give me a few more days on that. So that's the next step. I think it's looking pretty good. Got a lot of the body finished buffing. Came out pretty good. Reflections are pretty nice. I don't see any pigtails. Everything blended in nice. Got all the dust and out. Little bumps that come up sometimes. Last piece is the rear quarter panels. You can see how they're a little hazy still. That's because they haven't done the final buff. Only first stage of buff. Tail panel came out really nice. It's hard to see the reflection, but so it's almost done. And then I think I'll get this out of here, and then you can put it back on the frame and start doing the interior, finishing the interior and stuff like that. And then I got some things to fix on the hood. I just figured I'd wait on this, and I started on it and I noticed a lot of little issues. So this way here you can put the body back on the frame and get going, and then the hood only goes back on with a few bolts, so that won't be too bad. The doors are done, spoilers are done, so that can go back. So making pretty good progress. Pretty good progress on the hood. It's all buffed out, except for I got to do detail in here. These headlight buckets, clean them up a little bit, and then this center section here, just a little light touch up. It's just really hard to get to, so it's hard to, I'm gonna have to tip it up a little bit so I can get in there. Nothing crazy, just a little quick detail in there. But had to repaint one of the stripes, so I gotta let that dry and cure on the one side. You can see it's a little dull. Same thing here. I tried sanding that and it was still not ready. So this one here is redone. I didn't buff that and sand and buff it, clean it up yet. So there's a little bit of dust in it, a little bit of orange peel still, so that'll clean up nice. So this one here, and then that one there. And it's white, so it blends in pretty good. But overall, I mean, there's no pigtails or sand scratches. You know, there might be some dust in it still from the cloth wiping it down. I didn't give it a thorough detailing yet, but I think it came out pretty good. The body's all done. That's getting prepped to put on the chassis, and all the rest of the parts or at the owner's home so they can start working on putting it back together. So this is the last piece. This only goes back on with a few bolts, so it's not really holding anybody up. And I figured that way there he can get it done quicker, get back on the road. So come along pretty good. Alright, body's back on the frame. The owner put everything back together. Looking pretty good. Hood set. He's got to put the doors on this week. Put the glass in a couple days and maybe make it to a car show this weekend. So hopefully we'll have some more video and pictures.